Hello Year 8, and welcome to the first lesson on Henry VIII and the break from Rome. Today we're going to be focusing on the Roman Catholic Church at the time of Henry VIII and gaining some understanding about how it was organised. First important fact to get an understanding of is that Catholics believed, and still believe today, that the Pope was actually representing God on earth. This gave him an awful lot of power amongst Catholics, as they would often listen to him for guidance, sometimes above their kings and leaders within their own countries. One of the main beliefs of Catholics was that you could commit sins on earth, which basically means doing something wrong. And if you had done something wrong, then it was your responsibility to go to your parish priest within the village church to ask for forgiveness, and only the priest could give you that forgiveness. Once you'd confessed to your sins, the priest would tell you how you could get forgiveness, and this would often involve either saying prayers or making a donation or paying a fine to the church. The Pope, as the head of the church, lived in the Vatican City within the city of Rome in Italy. However, he controlled the beliefs of all Catholics within Europe in the 1500s. So he would control the beliefs of people in England, in France, Spain, and other areas of Europe, whilst he himself lived here in Rome. The money that the Catholic Church made and collected would often be used to finely decorate the insides of their churches, with such things as statues of saints, paintings of Mary and Jesus, gold crucifixes, highly decorated ceilings and stained glass windows. The priest would often wear colourful robes or vestments. All this meant that if you lived in Europe in the 1500s, then you would be Catholic. There were no other religious options for you, and you had to take your guidance from the Pope and live your life as the church in your village told you to. However, the Catholic Church did not continue to be all-powerful forever and ever. In 1517, a German monk by the name of Martin Luther wrote down 95 different things that he saw wrong with the Catholic Church, and with a hammer and a nail posted them on the door of the church in his local town of Wittenberg in Germany. This, along with other protests, set the wheels in motion for what is known as a Reformation, to reform something, to make better, to make new. And people basically wanted to reform the Catholic Church to make it better, to overcome some of the problems that they saw with the Catholic Church. And because they were protesting, they became known as Protestants. Within a Protestant church, there were a number of differences between Protestants and Catholics. Most noticeably, though, Protestants believed in a much more simple looking church. No highly decorated windows or pictures on the walls or gold crucifixes. Very simple looking church. Protestants also believed that the Pope was wrong to say that he was God's representative on earth. They believed that the only way to live as a good Christian was not to listen to the words of the Pope or the village priest, but to actually read the Bible yourself and learn what God wanted. And many people think that Henry VIII was the man that turned England Protestant, and he hated Catholicism and wanted rid of it. However, it is important to note that by the time he came to divorce Catherine of Aragon and broke from Rome in 1534, he was actually someone who had defended the Catholic Church. The Reformation itself was in full swing, so he was not the starter of it, but certainly went along for the right. In 1521 he had actually defended the Catholic Church, which the Pope liked at that time, and gave him the title of Defender of the Faith. So just to summarise this first presentation, key points to take from it: in Europe in 1500 you would be Catholic. The Pope controlled the Catholic Church from the Vatican in Italy, and the Catholic Church on the whole controlled people's lives through the idea of sins and regular attendance at church. In 1517 Martin Luther nailed his complaints to the door, which along with other protests set the wheels in motion for a Europe-wide Reformation. In 1521 Henry VIII actually defended the Catholic Church and supported the Catholic Church against this Europe-wide Reformation.